Hey you guys, it's Isaac and I am back. I feel like I've been away from you guys since forever. And it's only been 2 days, so I am back and I am happy to bring you more information. I did start a blog last week Friday and I started posting, then not last week Friday, I started the blog like on the 8th and I've been posting since then. Um, I'm sorry I've been absent over the weekend. I've had a very full weekend with, finals, had a lot of papers that I needed to write. I'm a procrastinator, so I always do everything last minute for some reason. And I don't never understand that. That's just been me since forever. But I am back to be back with you guys. I hope everyone has had a pleasant weekend. I know I have. Until Saturday, early Saturday morning after I returned home after a wonderful Christmas party, and it was sadly to be ruined by an email that I received, which has prompted me to do this week's topic of myths versus reality. I'm going to be bringing you myths about HIV/AIDS. Just to talk about the email, because I'm pretty sure someone is going to ask the question, well, what did the email say? It doesn't matter what it said. The person who wrote the email was very ignorant. They were so ignorant that it pissed me off how ignorant they were. This person is. I'm not gonna say were because that's past tense. This how ignorant this person is. Especially to the fact of HIV/AIDS, and this is a topic that's been a topic for the past 30 years or so now. So let's just say the email was very direct. It was direct because it offended gay men, it offended gay black men, and it offended anyone who is HIV positive. And I am 3 out of 3 of those things. So the bigotry that was among the email, it was just very, very, very hurtful because I was offended and I was hurt by it. I didn't even understand why I was hurt until I started to research the topic for this week that I'm doing. And it amazes me the things that people think, things that people can say, the perception that they have on a lot of different situations, a lot of different issues, especially this one. This is one of those issues, like I said, that people have a thing that they think that this is a gay thing. This is not a gay thing, like I've said. In previous videos, I know that I have talked about transmission. I know that I have talked about prevention. I know that I have talked about, the statistics of it, of HIV/AIDS in America, and across the globe. So, first things first, to the person who wrote the email, thank you for watching the videos because the email was very, very informative. So I know that you have been watching the videos, including the one that I posted on Friday. So thank you. I had to say thank you to them because they gave me this idea to do this. So let's get right into it. We all know that I have my notes, so if I'm looking away from the screen, that's what I'm looking at. But I want to make this personal because I was personally offended. And this video is especially for the person that sent me that email. So here we go. Let's dive right into it. For nearly 30 years, HIV and AIDS have been shrouded in myths and misconception. In some cases, these mistaken ideas have prompted the very behaviors that cause more people to become HIV positive. Although there are unanswered questions that still remain about HIV, researchers have learned a great deal. And I'm going to give you a list throughout the week of those great deals that they have made. But we're going to get started with our myths today. I'm going to only do the top 5 because there's a long list of pure idiocracy that I stumbled upon in the research for this. Some of the things are laughable. Some of the things are very personal because I sort of did feel this way, feel some kind of way with with finding out and everything. So let's dive right into myth number 1. I can get HIV by being around a person or being around people who are HIV positive. Evidence shows that HIV is not spread through touch, tears, sweat, or saliva. So, just being around me, if I look at you, you can't get it. If I cough, sneeze, breathe, walk, talk, sit next to you, I can't transmit it to you that way. Breathing the same air as someone, touching a toilet seat or a doorknob after a person who is HIV positive, drinking a water fountain, hugging, kissing, shaking hands with someone who is HIV positive, sharing eating utensils, or even using the same exercise equipment. You cannot catch HIV that way. I've talked about transmission. And the number one way you can catch HIV is through sexual contact. That's number one. There's also sharing of needles. There is also blood transfusions, transference through pregnancies. But those are very slim. There are very, very slim chances that you're gonna get the blood of a person who is HIV positive. Hospitals check for that. Hopefully, if mothers are doing what they can, if they are HIV positive, they are taking the right medication to prevent it from spreading to the baby. Those things are very, very slim. The number one way you can get HIV, once again, is through sexual contact. So you can't get HIV from sitting around a person. So people, if you think if I come around you, I know my spirit is effervescent. This is not something that I'm just gonna just be like, "Hi, I'm Isaac and I'm HIV positive," and just come out and say things like that. I'm gonna be me at all times, and people are drawn to me. I mean, I have a very effervescent spirit, so I hear, and people like that. So you can't get HIV just from being around a person or people who are HIV positive. Myth number two: I don't need to worry about becoming HIV positive because new drugs will keep me well. This brings me back to the post that I posted on Friday about the pre exposure prophylaxis and the post exposure prophylaxis. Sorry, the phone is ringing in the background. These are fairly new drugs that help prevent the spread of HIV through your body. And as I mentioned in that video on Friday, what the drugs do is stop the spread of the virus throughout your body. It stops it from reproducing and multiplying rapidly. Sort of slows down the process. The same thing antiretrovirals do. Only thing is with the pre-exposure prophylaxis, it's for if you are in a relationship with someone who's HIV positive. If you feel that you may become in contact with HIV virus in some point in time. I don't know who plans for that. But for those that do, this medicine is out there for you. Then you have the post exposure prophylaxis for people who believe that they have come in contact with the virus. You have to go get that medicine within 72 hours. Once again, the medicine does not prevent you from getting infected. There is no cure for HIV. There is nothing that can stop the virus from you coming in contact with the virus. The medicine only slows down the process. So basically, the same medicine that you're taking, I'm taking. The difference is when I started taking medicine, it was too late for me to take the pre exposure prophylaxis. It was way too late for me to take the post exposure. So I'm taking about three different medicines, as I mentioned on Friday. The medicines that they use in these drugs are about two. I think in the post exposure, I believe there was three medicines that they used in that drug to help slow down the reproduction of HIV in your body. So just because you are taking these medicines, once again, it does not prevent, there's no 100% guarantee that the medicine will work. So there's no saying that you will not become infected with the virus. Myth number three. Now, I find this one hilarious because back when I was, I want to say probably about ninth or eighth grade, um, we were doing a project and one of the topics was HIV. Didn't know too much about it. During that time, I knew what sex was, but I didn't know too much about HIV. So I decided to, do the research and all that other stuff. And through my research, I found that there was a myth that back in the 1950s, a man had sex with a monkey, and that's how the virus strand got started. That's a myth, people. I just want to throw that out there for anybody else that have heard that. But myth number 3 is also something that I have heard. I can get HIV from mosquitoes. It's pretty laughable, right? Because HIV is spread through blood, people worry that biting or blood-sucking insects might spread HIV. Several studies, however, show no evidence to support this. Even in areas with lots of mosquitoes, like Africa, where they have conducted studies, you can't get the spread through that. So just because an insect bites you, you can't get that spread. I know it's pretty laughable. And also, HIV lives for a short time inside of an insect. If they were to bite someone who is HIV positive, it lasts a short time. So, yeah, that's a myth. Myth number 4. I am HIV positive. My life is over. This is one of those myths that I sort of took personal. Um, because I felt that way. I cried, I boo-hooed, I did not know how to contain myself. I'm still trying to process the fact as I speak right now. But in the early years of this epidemic, the death rate from AIDS was extremely high. But today, with the antiretroviral drugs, they allow HIV positive people to live longer and healthier lives, as I have said in my previous videos. So to live longer, to have normal productive lives, you have to be taking that medicine if you are HIV positive, as I have previously mentioned. So the myth that your life is over, it's not. I know that it's a process because I'm going through the process, and like I say, I'm still trying to process a lot of things. I am still struggling to wrap the idea around my head. And but my life isn't over. I've come to realize that I still got a lot of good years left. They say the person that raises the most, HE double hockey sticks. They live longer than anybody, and I've raised enough. So guess what? I'm here to stay. So you're gonna have to deal with me for at least another good 50, 30, 60, 100. I say I'm gonna live to be 150. I'm gonna be as old as Methuselah. That's what I say. That's what I believe. Myth number 5, and we're gonna conclude with this myth of today. And tomorrow I'm gonna bring you 6 through 10. Myth number 5: AIDS is a genocide. Now, this is one of those understandable myths because the HIV/AIDS epidemic is very rampant in certain parts of the countries of the world, especially in Africa. In one study, as many 30% of African Americans and Latinos in the U.S. are HIV positive. So people think that it's a conspiracy that the government, you know what? To bring that up, I've been told that as well. Someone who is close to me. I'm not gonna say no names. I hope that they are not watching the videos because they're gonna know that I'm talking about them. But someone that was close to me. This has been years ago. That is close to me. I'm not gonna say was. They still are. They said that it's a conspiracy that they think the government has secured. They're just not giving it. Um, Understandable. The government is sneaky in so many ways. I mean, just recently with Ebola, they say that that was a trick by the American government to get rid of black people, of Latinos, or whoever was catching it. And this is one of those myths that it's a genocide, that they're just trying to get rid of the black people. This is also something that was in the email, by the way, too, that I received. Um, it's very, very laughable because if this was a genocide, I think that they would have, tried a lot harder. If this is a genocide, the government is slacking. They are slacking. I mean, I'm not going to be insensitive and say what I'm thinking right now, but if this was a genocide, the government is slacking. There have been other governments that have conducted genocides, and they conducted them. If they wanted to get rid of African Americans, Latinos, Indians, whatever they want to do, Africans or whatever, black people, people of color in general, if they wanted to get rid of us, they would have been a little bit more effective, I believe. I think. Now, I'm not saying that I'm finna let somebody just try to get rid of me. I'm gonna go out swinging if that ever came down to the case, and I highly doubt that that is ever gonna be likely. But in studies, like I said in previous videos, people of color seem to have the virus more prevalent in their community. Um, Especially being African American. My roots, my ancestry traces back to a country where the virus is very rampant. It's very, very rampant. So, like I say, it's something that I could process through my head. If I sit and think too long on it, I might start to believe it. But it's something that is a myth. It is not a genocide. They're not trying to kill people off, because if they were trying to kill people off, like people say, white conspiracy. Why are there so many Caucasian people who have the virus as well, who have died from the disease as well? So, yeah, we're going to conclude right there for today. But tomorrow I'm going to bring you myths 6 through 10. And as I leave out always saying, you can always feel free to email me, leave me comments. Um, Check out my Facebook page. You can message me there, or direct message me on Instagram. I don't use Twitter. You can also leave me comments or get in contact with me through my blog. I don't use Twitter. I don't use that photo bucket and all that other good stuff. I don't understand Twitter. Twitter annoys me. People tweet too much. And my phone, I mean, my phone already goes up with Facebook alerts enough, so I don't need the extra. Facebook, YouTube, the blog, and Google Plus. That's all I really need at this point in time. But I will see you guys tomorrow, when I will bring you guys myths 6 through 10. And I hope you guys have a productive Monday. I'm going to get back to writing this paper that I was doing, but I had to stop and do this before I forgot. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Once again, all the information will be in the description block. My email, my Facebook page, my Instagram. I'm going to add the blog down there, and I'm even going to add the Google Plus down there. You can find me or get in contact with me through all of that. Please, please keep watching the videos. I see that you guys have. Keep watching them. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you all, and goodbye.